All right, I believe I'm all set. Ready for Evolution. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Trey Muhammad, welcoming you to another installment of It's All About the Dream, the lecture series. Today, our subject matter is productivity. And I want to talk to you about uh, a book that I not only read, but I implemented in daily activity, and it's taken my production for business, my production in arenas of success to a whole nother level because I learned how to outperform traditional planning. And what I want to talk to you about is the formula I use, and it's found in a book called The 12-Week Year. The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran and I forget the co-author's name, my apologies. But this is the power of the book. We mind shift. We think in the uh, with the idea of shifts, 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 as opposed to weeks, months, years. We think in shifts. And most of us can relate to that because most of us have had jobs or been employed from time to time or even owned a business and it required shift work. And so traditionally, you found 8 hours a day represented a shift. Well, there's 24 hours in a day. So in reading this book, I understood how I can break up my days into shifts where if every 8 hours equated a shift, then that's a day's work. So I learned how through practice, consistency, through blocking out times for taking action. I learned how to create 3 days in one by taking 8 hour shifts per 24 hours within 24-hour time frames. And it worked out tremendously for me. So, for an example, it's allowed me to create a 21-day work week. What do you think about this concept? When you're talking about 3 days, traditionally, that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, days of a week. But if you choose to take a day and break it into 8 hour shifts, that equates to 3 days of productivity or 3 days of work or 3 days of access in one day. And so what I learned to do, I would take the first 8 hours of the day, first 8 hours, and I would then utilize that block of time to accomplish everything I want to accomplish in day one. So let's say day one involves me uh, uh, going through my emails and text messages. And I probably need a day for that because I receive a lot of them, but I'm just giving an example here. I can use 8 hour day to block out for correspondence, meaning I will receive it, I would answer it, I will open it, I would send, I would write, okay, I would address or reply. I can use that block of time, and that's all I'm going to do in that day. If I start that at 8 a.m., my day ends at 5. Okay. So now what happens at 6? Well, the next day or the next shift begins. And what do I do then? I won't do anything I did in day one, in the first day, in the first 8 to 5. Now I'm working, let's say, I don't know what, let's say, let's stop it at 4 and go 4 to 12, right? Or 6 to whatever. What happens is I would take the next block of days in that same block of hours in that same day and work on maybe phone calls, talking to people, reaching out to people. It might be following up in on operations. It might be piquing interest to the opportunity. It could be a plethora of things. It might be events that I have scheduled where I Zoom day, hour to hour inside that second 8 hours shift. That second shift equates day two. Now I still have another day to go. And that third day might be me just spending the time with wife, with children, with grandchildren, with family, making time to watch TV or a movie or go out somewhere and eat. So this is how production is done. I work on creating 3 shifts in a day, equating into 3 days in a day, which makes 21 days in a week. And you're able to track, measure better. You will achieve more in 12 weeks than most people accomplish in 12 months in this type of planning. Give you another example. See, the problem with annual planning, the plans are too far ahead. By the time we get there, we done lost all kind of time and productivity because we lose focus, we become overwhelmed, we react instead of execute. And the result, small progress across many priorities. That's a problem with annual planning. Most corporations have this problem when they come to budgeting. That's why they only budget, I want to increase by 5% because they've already known they're going to fail for the first 11 months because they put it too far ahead. They don't take any kind of immediate action. You know, Annual planning fails because there's too much uncertainty, especially if you're in markets or things of that nature, or just society in general. We don't know how it's panning itself out. So there's constant ebbs and lows, ups and downs. Markets change in business. Shifting priorities need to take place. Outdated assumptions where you thought it would work this way by June, but no, it may only work that way by August. You see, outdated assumptions. The farther ahead you plan, the less predictable your future becomes. The farther out you plan, the less productive you become. So this is why you must take action in the time the action dictates. I always say only doing gets it done, right? So let's look at how a 12-week plan works and why it works. Okay, first and foremost, you have faster execution, greater predictability, better decision making, and clearer priorities. See, that is a formula that works because you're focused, and anywhere you focus, your energy goes. So, faster execution, right? You stay on course, greater predictability because the actions you take for the time is designed to you're designed to perform in are more accurate. Better decision making because you're still living in the moment, you're living in now, and clearer priorities means now you can forge ahead knowing what you accomplished and where and what direction you'll be taking. Okay? There's greater predictability in a 12-week plan. It allows accurate forecasting of priorities, of customer bases if you're in business, revenue opportunities, and market conditions. I utilize this to plan out where I intend to be in the next 30 days, where I intend to be in the next quarter, and the closer you bring these goals, objectives, and ideas together, the greater success you submit yourself to. See, activities create results. Annual plans focus on numbers. 12-week plans focus on activities. Say that again. Annual plans focus on numbers. That's why it's doomed to fail or not to be as successful or to be outdated or antiquated. But 12-week plans, they focus on activities. What do I do in day one? What do I do in day two? What do I do in day three? And you execute those things. Mind you, that's all the same day. That's one day. Now you're moving to that was Monday. Now you're moving to Tuesday, but in Tuesday, what do you do on day one Tuesday? What do you do on day two Tuesday? What do you do on day three Tuesday? These are activities, goals you must perform. Your A goal, your B goal, your C goal. Your A goal is that which you know you can do with your blindfolded. You don't need tremendous skill because it's something that's sort of innate in you. Your B goal is the one that stretches you a little bit. This is where it takes greater concentration, but it's achievable. Why? Because you have a whole nother day in the same day to incorporate it. And then the C goal, oh my God, that C goal is so far out there in terms uh, of of it could be overwhelm you. It's so far out there, so far ahead of where you are and where you intend to be with that goal that you can lose sleep at night trying to figure it out. Many interpret C goals as, when I say C, I'm talking the letter C, C goals as something that would take a whole nother lifetime before you can embark on. But the main thing is you have your A, B, and C structured within a plan. A 12-week plan focuses on activities. And I'm here to tell you that activities produce results. It allows you to focus on the critical few. Now, this is important. Be great at a few things instead of average at many. I'll say that one more again. You want to be great at a few things instead of average at many. Focus only on the highest impacting activities. Because I'm going to tell you the truth, folks, I've learned this in journalism, I've learned this in reporting, I've learned this in authorship, I've learned this in presentations. Less is more. Less is more. Fewer priorities, better execution. Increased momentum moves and morphs into higher productivity. And every 12 weeks, you can reset. Now, I'm just telling you what I do. It doesn't always work out as perfect as this presentation is for you this evening, but at the conclusion of that 12 weeks, I'm able to reset. I'm able to review. I'm able to analyze what worked, what didn't, what changed, what will improve. And then I launch the next 12-week cycle, not reinventing the wheel, but taking actionable steps to hone in on making that success level or that range of success even higher. In planning for today's world, you got to understand that things are moving now faster than ever. AI, technology, customer behavior, all this changes. Annual planning as it relates to that is too slow because it's an antiquated approach to productivity. And you don't want to take antiquated approaches today in your business when you have something like AI and technology and new currencies and everything moving at the flip of a switch. Planning for implementation is a must, folks. Planning exists to improve execution. Every goal should lead directly to measurable actions. You know why I always carry a calculator? I always carry a calculator because that's the only job it has, not the cell phone, not the laptop per se, the calculator, because all it does is calculate. So every goal should be measurable. I measure everything through the calculator. I establish my lifestyle costs personally. I establish my operational costs with our businesses. And then I determine how much product or how much presentation or how much in front of the room I need to be to equate the lifestyle cost I need. If my lifestyle cost is $5,000 a month, well, how many product purchases do I need to acquire? When I say acquire, meaning sell, how many subscriptions do I need to sell, right? Because that will determine how much closer I am to the earmark. Now, if I have a week generally to produce this lifestyle cost, it might be 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 for the month, and I pretty much need the first 10 days of a month to meet that goal. All you have to do now, or all I do now, is instead of looking at each day as a 24-hour day up to 10 days, all I have to do is break each day into 3 shifts. And what would have normally taken me 10 days to accomplish, now I can accomplish in 2, maybe 3 days, because each one of those days has 3 shifts by which I operate. Measurable, measurable. And you find you'll be on the other side of money where you won't have more days left than you do at the end of your check. You will have created a lifestyle where you will have made so much money sleep, I'm telling you, than you can ever spend possibly awake. 12-week goals. Break long-term vision into focused 12-week goals. This is what I'm encouraging you to do. I'm encouraging you to get the book, The 12-Week Year. But break long-term vision into focused 12-week goals. Ask yourself, what must be accomplished in the next 12 weeks? Be honest with yourself because you only have to prove it to you. And whatever it is, Set it up. It's a tactical planning. If the concept is to get referrals, the tactic is ask every client for 2 referrals at every presentation and closing. So think about that now. Let's say you use 3 days to do that. You got your referral, you're speaking to your referral, you're speaking to a strategic partner. Now you're asking them for additional. Who else can we get to buy into this? And if you do that in the first set of your 3 days in one day, you'll find yourself tripling your results. That's just an example. The critical few, I want you to think about this. If 5 activities produce success, then don't create 10. Identify only the essential actions. I knew where I would be at 4 p.m. Eastern today. I knew that from the beginning of my day 2 shifts ago. I was not going to compromise that by adding more to the pot. If 5 activities produce success, don't create 10. Identify only the essential actions, and only you know what they should be. This is a process of control, folks. Systems and routines help you execute when motivation is low. So you want to find a way to set that control mechanism so that you can find yourself as productive as you need to be in the time frame that you allot. Because I'm here to tell you, any activity, anything you must do towards your production, towards your success, it is going to be boring. It's going to be mundane. It's going to be so routine, you're trying to figure out why you're even doing it. But it will yield the results with consistency and with your willingness to take action. For weekly planning, each week focus only on the actions due that week. That gives you your deadline or your lifeline. Weekly plans become daily roadmaps. So you know where you to be day to day, shift to shift. Start each day with your weekly plan, not email or your to-do list. Start each day in order to have that winning week. Know what you're embarking on. And then here's one that I enjoy and we enjoy from which to winning. We talk about peer accountability. See, research shows people are significantly more successful with weekly accountability partners. I have 4 that I work with day to day. I have 4 that I work with day to day, and they work with me, and we hold each other to task in order to achieve or realize the results we seek. Sometimes they're collective results. Sometimes these are just removal of paradigms, creating new shifts so that we can shifts in thinking so that we can be a lot more habitual in successful behavior. Keep score, folks. Measure what you do. At the end of each 12 weeks, look at what you're tracking, your execution percentage, the revenue you generate, the sales, your appointments, your referrals, your goal completion. You want to look at those things that you set out to do, and then you want to measure them because you have a 12-week reset. There are 4 disciplines in everything that we do, and I don't want you to lose sight of them. Vision, planning, process control, and scorekeeping. I'm telling you, these are measured steps that produce the success. And success is built one focused week at a time. I personally want to thank you for what we shared with you this afternoon. I hope and pray that it's found some value in your journey. And I want you to know that you can think about it all day long. You can talk about it all day long. But without doing, it's a dream, it's a whim, rather, it might be a low key wish. But I'm here to tell you, only doing gets it done. I hope that this presentation today has found favor on you. This is a presentation of productivity. I promised it 2 weeks ago. I was away last week for a janaza service or a funeral service. So I apologize for not being before you. But week to week, we ensure you we don't intend to disappoint. Get this out to those that you believe may find interest in just having better access and better production in their day to day, their week to week, their year. You can complete your year in 12 weeks. Wow, imagine what you'll do with the remaining 40. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Trey Muhammad. Peace and power. I'll see each and every one of us on the next.